Infrastructure, development, and trade are the most common areas of economic cooperation between China and African countries. But recently, bilateral cooperation has gradually shifted to cover areas such as finance. CCTV's Xinqing reports in our series Rediscovering Africa. This is a needed push in Sino-African relations.
China and Africa. One is the biggest developing country in the world. The other a continent hosting the largest number of developing states. When these two come together, huge opportunities can arise. China became the largest trade partner of Africa as early as 2009. Bilateral trade volume grew to exceed $220 billion in 2014. Over 2,000 Chinese enterprises are now investing in African energy, power, and infrastructure development. None of these achievements could have been realized without financial cooperation.
Africa is a place of huge potential, where development of all sorts is greatly needed. But that takes money, and that's why financial cooperation between China and Africa is so important.
Underdeveloped financial systems in Africa cannot meet accelerating economic growth. Many Chinese financial institutions are taking the opportunity to offer some support.
In 2008, ICBC spent $5 billion acquiring 20% of shares from Standard Bank Group, which is the largest bank in Africa. This was the largest financial investment made by Chinese banks overseas. The strategic cooperation between these two banks plays an important role in promoting the expansion of Chinese companies in Africa and providing financial support for bilateral trade.
Financial cooperation between China and Africa started as early as 1985, when PBOC initiated cooperation with Africa Development Bank. China became the largest lender to African countries in 2010, exceeding even the World Bank. Early this year, the Chinese Central Bank also signed an agreement on currency swap of 300 billion yuan with South African Reserve Bank. China Construction Bank opened its second branch in South Africa this September. During the African Investment Summit held in 2013, China Exim Bank said China will provide up to $1 trillion of financing for African countries by 2025. But Chinese financial institutions are not just providing money. They are also exploring which are most efficient areas for their financial investments.
Infrastructure projects like railway, road, power, and telecommunication require lots of investment. But most African countries are not in a position to finance these projects on their own. We provide financial support through equity participation or direct loans, which are of great interest to Chinese investors.
From providing direct financial service to matching the right projects to the right investors, financial cooperation between China and Africa has gotten off to a good start. As the benefits of enhancing financial partnerships gradually become clear, more institutions will follow suit to provide much-needed support for the African continent. Xinqing, CCTV, Beijing.